Listen to me, I'm talking. I'm assuming you graduated from high school, right?
8th grade.
You went through 8th grade.
If there's evidence provided against me, I have a right to defend myself using that very same
That wasn't the question I asked you.
That's
You do have
exactly.
a right to defend yourself, Mr. Raymer. I'm just
My right for violence.
I'm talking, you're not. If you don't stop talking and listen to me so I can go through my speech, I will send you over to the jail.
You're the one that signed the warrant for my arrest while I was in jail.
I don't know that. I don't remember.
Yes, you did do that.
Okay. I'm allowed to do that.
No, you violated my rights.
Okay.
I'm not going to take any of the attorneys from here because they're all corrupt.
Clip 1. This sovereign citizen is looking at 4 years in prison and somehow thought, yeah, I got this. I'll just represent myself. The judge in this clip does not play around. And it gets really entertaining the moment she realizes this guy only made it through 8th grade and still thinks he's some kind of legal genius. At this point, it's like watching somebody bring a pool noodle to a sword fight. But let me know in the comments if you think the judge was too harsh here, because I already know somebody is going to say she was too rude for not letting him finish a sentence. But if I'm being real here, judges are not required to sit there and entertain Facebook law. So, let's dive in here and watch the sovereign citizen get completely destroyed live in court by a no-nonsense judge.
In the matter of the state of Michigan versus Shane Leroy Raymer, file number 23-21665FH. This is a date and time set for a final pretrial conference. Today was the motion deadline for both motions and motion in limines to be heard. Jury instructions were to be provided to the court by April 2nd, along with any proposed voir dire questions. We are set for trial on April 22nd of 2025. Mr. Raymer, you are charged with police officer resisting and obstructing causing injury, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison. Police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing, that carries up to 2 years in prison. There's 2 of those. And then there's a disorderly. And what is the plea offer in this file?
Your Honor, the people have offered a plea of 2 counts to attempted R&O.
All right.
2 misdemeanors, and we would kill a brute, no upfront jail.
All right. Mr. Raymer, the plea offer in this case was to plead to 2 one-year misdemeanors with no upfront jail, and there'd be like 12 months or so of probation, some minimal fines and costs. Do you understand that? All right. Now, Mr. Raymer, I'm assuming you graduated from high school, right?
8th grade.
You went through 8th grade, and this is a felony that could result in you going to prison. Why don't you stand in front of that podium for me? So, do you understand an attorney can help guide you through the legal process?
Yes, I tried to have, I almost had a public defender. Unfortunately, she wasn't representing me appropriately. I had asked for another one, but...
So, I have no authority over who gets appointed. You were appointed an attorney.
But when they're not representing you appropriately...
Okay, I didn't ask that. I'm just saying, you have a right to an attorney. I know the attorney you're referring to. She's diligent. She works hard. Maybe you didn't like... I know when I was a public defender, sometimes my clients didn't like what I... Listen to me, I'm talking. My clients didn't like the things that I told them. But, her job isn't to do what you want. Her job is to represent the law. So you understand at this point, you can hire an attorney, or you can go with the public defender and whoever they assign you, or you can go to trial pro per with no law degree, no experience, and risk going to prison. You're going to represent yourself.
I'm going to represent I ain't got no choice but to
Have you provided your jury questions, the voir dire questions? Because if you haven't, they're waived.
If there's
No, they were due.
If there's evidence provided against me, I have a right to defend myself using that very same...
That wasn't the question I asked you.
That's
You do have
exactly.
a right to defend yourself, Mr. Raymer. I'm just...
My right for violence.
I'm talking, you're not. If you don't stop talking and listen to me so I can go through my speech, I will send you over to the jail. Do you understand?
Somebody make this make sense. This guy barely made it past 8th grade, and somehow he thinks he's qualified to go toe-to-toe with a judge. Like, bro, this isn't a TikTok debate. It's court. He fired his lawyer like it was a bad Uber driver, then rolled in with a legal strategy he probably found on Reddit. I actually had a buddy once try to defend himself in court for a speeding ticket. He really thought he could outsmart the judge with some technicality he saw on YouTube, but it obviously didn't work. He ended up paying double and got his license suspended. But yeah, these sovereign citizens really act like saying I don't consent turns them invisible to the law or something. If you keep interrupting a judge, you could get hit with a contempt charge and lose any shot at a fair deal.
All right. You have not filed any motions. Jury instructions were due and voir dire questions were due. You have not provided those. We gave you a copy of this. So do you understand whatever received is what will be used? Yes or no?
I will be allowed to ask my question.
What question?
When I'm cross-examining, I will get my.
I'm talking about jury questions. I'm talking about jury instructions and voir dire questions. You understand now? You didn't file, listen, I know, but you waived that because you have not provided them. Do you understand that? You understand that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I didn't understand that.
Okay. Well, I can't advise you of the law because I'm not an attorney, I'm a judge.
No, but you
So-
looking at the case, you've been presiding over my case for 3 years now.
I know. It's fine. You're gonna go to
You're the one
trial.
that signed the warrant for my arrest while I was in jail.
I don't know that. I don't
Yes,
remember.
you did do that.
Okay. I'm allowed to do that.
No, you violated my rights. as well.
Okay. Well, you have options. You can file a complaint with the JTC if you'd like. So, are you prepared to go to trial?
Absolutely.
Have you provided your witness list?
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay, that was due.
My witness list was provided when, Ms. Underwood was my attorney.
Okay.
And my witness list is.
Have you subpoenaed any witnesses that were not on the prosecutor's raised just eyewitness?
Yes, my witnesses are the ones that was there at the scene.
No.
And, yes.
Do you understand that you have to provide a witness list and you have to provide a copy to the prosecutor? Do you understand that?
Prosecutor, I gotta provide what to him?
So if you're gonna have witnesses at trial, you need to make sure the prosecutor has their name and contact information so that they could interview them prior to trial if they wanted. Do you understand that?
They got all that information.
They do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
My witnesses are my parents and my aunt.
okay, I don't know. Are those on, if they're not on the people's witness?
They're just me.
Okay.
Brother.
If you haven't provided a witness list and they're not on the people's list, you understand you won't be able to call them.
Okay, I will provide information. I
Okay.
can provide that information.
I'm just telling you. So you need to make sure that there's a witness list in the file that was provided to the people.
So I gotta re-provide it.
I don't know. Go back and look at what
I'll
witness
just
list has
find
been filed, their name, their contact information, and then any subpoenas you have to do. If you have to subpoena anybody to be present, you need to get those filed this week. And then the court signs them, and then you serve those people with those. Do you understand? Now, do you understand when we go to trial, a lot of times some of the questions you ask or he asks may be objected to, and it's not personal, it's just, we have to follow the law.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm allowed to object to it, right?
huh?
I'm allowed to object to.
You are, and then you have to provide the basis for that objection. Okay, so you need to understand your objections. So you might want to do some research to understand.
I've been doing
Good, good. You sure you don't want a public defender for trial?
Huh?
You sure you don't want an attorney for trial?
I'm not gonna take any of the attorneys from here because they're all corrupt.
So, Genius here thinks all public defenders are corrupt. This is the same guy who barely made it through 8th grade and now wants his mom, his dad, and his aunt to testify, like it's some kind of courtroom family talent show. Like, bro, what are they even going to say? Yeah, he's always been delusional, Your Honor. At this point, I'm just like, let him go to prison. The judge literally warned him multiple times, gave him every chance, and he still blew it. Like he was trying to speedrun a conviction here. But anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about how this judge handled this one, because up next we've got another crazy sovereign citizen who refuses to pay rent and gets humbled very quickly here. So let's dive in here. So, clip 4. Somebody please check on the plaintiff because he looked like he just lost 3 brain cells hearing that. And honestly, same. I don't know how judges sit through this kind of stuff without losing it, because if that were me, I'd definitely be banging that gamble just out of frustration.
Do not submit to the jurisdiction of the court. The contract is rescinded,
How can the
and I am
contract,
not a legal person. You're not a legal
How
person.
can a contract?
I mean, I've heard some dumb excuses in my life, and honestly, same. I don't know how judges sit through this kind of stuff without losing it, because if that were me, I'd definitely be banging that gamble just out of frustration. I mean, I've heard some dumb excuses in my life, but this one might actually take the crown. Like, I just don't understand how they really believe this works. Like, I remember getting out of a gym contract once, and even that took way more effort than whatever she was trying to pull. I mean, be real with me here. Do you guys actually think these sovereign citizens actually believe this stuff, or are they just trolling the system? Honestly, I feel like it's a little bit a mix of both, but let me know in the comments.
No, I'm not a legal person. I'm not a legal entity. No, I am not. And you have to prove that on the record.
Actually, I don't.
I'm sorry.
Can I ask Ms. Battle a question, Your Honor, real quick?
Sure.
So, Ms. Battle, so you can live there forever without paying rent because you're not a legal person?
That's not what I'm saying, but the contract itself is invalid. I'm saying that you don't have any personal or subject matter jurisdiction over me. Over an invalid contract, no. And over me not having a legal capacity to be sued, yes. So if that's how you want to take it, and that's how you have to take it, but that's what's lawful and that's
Let me
the law.
just tell you, I think you're wrong on both counts. I would expect that we would.
It's okay for you to think that I'm wrong, but the facts still align with what I'm saying.
Okay, Your Honor, I think we should have a trial.
You have to prove without the reasonable doubt. So let the record show that the judge has not required the plaintiff to prove without a reasonable doubt that I am a legal person, and it's on the record, not assumed, not presumed, on the record. There's nothing that's on the record that states
Ms. Battle, first of all, reasonable doubt is a standard in a criminal case, not a civil case. So I do not have to prove anything beyond a reasonable doubt.
I need both of you to stop talking, please. Both of you, I'm sorry. I cannot figure out the date because I can't hear over the two of you.
I apologize, I didn't know that's what you were doing, Your Honor.
This matter will be scheduled for May 6th at 3 p.m. for a trial on any and all issues that may be before the court. Ms. Battle, if you have anything else that you need to say, you can unmute yourself by hitting *6 to do that.
Okay, I just find it ironic that I got muted when I was speaking on jurisdiction and how there was a lack thereof on the record, so I want that to be on the record. But I also wanted to, okay, that's fine, and I also wanted to be on the record that I am not going to be able to show up on May the 6th, so it's also ironic that you are able to verify with him that he's able to show up and not with myself.
I just asked you that, and you are now talking about something else. Why can't you?
That's because you cut me off and put me inside of a break room and muted my mic instead of allowing me to speak on what needs to be spoken on.
All right, this is set for May 6th at 3.
Your Honor, by Zoom? By Zoom?
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
It's ridiculous. It's a fraud upon the court. Goodbye.
No, I'm not a legal person. I'm not a legal entity. No, I am not. And you have to prove that on I'm sorry. Can I ask Miss B a question, Your Honor? Real quick? Sure. So, Miss Battle, so you can live there forever without paying rent because you're not a legal person. That's not what I'm saying. But the contract itself is invalid. I'm saying that you don't have any personal or subject matter jurisdiction over me over an invalid contract. No. And over me not having the legal capacity to be sued. Yes. So, if that's how you want to, then that's how you have to take it. But that's what's lawful. And that's, let me just tell you, I think you're wrong on both counts. I would expect that it's okay for you to think that I'm wrong, but the facts still align with what I'm saying. Okay, Your Honor, I think we should have a trial. You have to prove without the reasonable doubt. So, let the record show that the judge has not required the plaintiff to prove without a reasonable doubt that I am a legal person, and it's on the record, not assumed, not presumed on the record. There's nothing that's on the record that state. Miss Battle, first of all, reasonable doubt is a standard in a criminal case, not a civil case. So, I do not have to prove anything beyond a reasonable doubt. Sarah, I need both of you to stop talking. Please, both.